The 20-year heist. My best friend stole my business. Chapter 1. The Seeds of a Dream. Nashville, Tennessee. 2004. The vibrant heart of Nashville beat with rhythm and ambition. A city where dreams were spun from guitar strings and entrepreneurial spirit. For me, Sarah Jenkins, a 28-year-old with a passion for artisan bread, it was the perfect place to nurture my dream. I envisioned a small, cozy bakery, not just selling bread, but crafting an experience, the aroma of freshly baked sourdough, the warmth of community, a place where people felt truly at home. My best friend, Emily Carter, was by my side through it all. We'd met in college at Vanderbilt University, two young women, navigating the complexities of adulthood, sharing late-night talks, instant noodles, and endless dreams. Emily, a brilliant marketing student, had always been the more practical, strategically minded one. I was the dreamer, the creative spirit. She was the one who could turn a vague idea into a concrete plan. After graduation, we stayed in Nashville. I worked various jobs, saving every penny, experimenting with recipes in my tiny apartment kitchen, perfecting my sourdough starter, Bertha, named after my great-grandmother. Emily, meanwhile, climbed the corporate ladder at a prominent marketing firm downtown. But no matter how busy she was, she always made time for me. She was my sounding board, my confidant, my biggest cheerleader. "Sarah, your bread is magic," she'd declare, tearing into a warm baguette. "You have to open a bakery, and when you do, I'll help you make it a success." Her belief in me was unwavering, a powerful fuel to my nascent ambition. We spent countless hours discussing the Daily Crumb, my envisioned bakery. Emily helped me draft a business plan, offering invaluable insights into market research, branding, and customer acquisition. She even taught me basic accounting principles, something my artistic brain vehemently resisted. She seemed genuinely invested, her enthusiasm infectious. In 2008, after years of meticulous saving and countless sleepless nights perfecting recipes, the Daily Crumb became a reality. It was a modest space in a charming, up-and-coming neighborhood in East Nashville. The air was perpetually thick with the scent of yeast, butter, and coffee. We offered rustic loaves, flaky croissants, and my signature sourdough. It was a labor of love. Every brick, every oven rack, every bag of flour, purchased with my own hard-earned money. Emily was there on opening day, cheering louder than anyone, even helping me knead dough when we were overwhelmed with orders. She refused payment, saying, "This is for us, Sarah. Our dream come true." She continued to help, offering marketing advice, designing our logo, managing our social media presence, all on top of her demanding corporate job. Her dedication was extraordinary, a testament to what I believed was an unbreakable bond of friendship. "You're a lifesaver, Em," I'd tell her, my voice thick with gratitude. "I couldn't do any of this without you." She'd just smile, her eyes sparkling. "That's what friends are for, right? Besides, I love this place as much as you do." The Daily Crumb flourished. Our sourdough became legendary. We expanded, adding a small cafe area, offering sandwiches and pastries. We hired a small, dedicated team. Emily, still working her full-time job, continued to oversee our marketing and increasingly our online presence. She insisted on handling all our digital affairs: website, social media, online orders, customer databases. "It's my specialty, Sarah," she'd say. "You focus on the baking magic." It made sense. I trusted her implicitly. She was my best friend, my business partner in spirit. Our friendship deepened over the years. We celebrated milestones, birthdays, holidays, the bakery's anniversaries. We navigated heartbreaks and triumphs. She was the godmother to my future children, the maid of honor at my imagined wedding. She was family. By 2018, the Daily Crumb was a Nashville institution, a thriving, beloved local business. We had a loyal customer base, a strong online presence, and even garnered some national attention in food blogs. I was living my dream, and Emily was a huge part of its success. I attributed much of our marketing prowess to her, never questioning her methods or her meticulous handling of our digital assets. One evening, over a glass of wine, she even mused about leaving her corporate job and joining the Daily Crumb full-time. "Imagine, Sarah," she said, her eyes gleaming, "us working together, making this even bigger. Maybe a second location?" My heart swelled with joy. It was a dream scenario. My best friend, my rock, officially by my side, making our shared dream even grander. The seeds of our dream had blossomed into a beautiful reality. Little did I know, those very seeds had also silently nourished a darker, more sinister ambition in the heart of my closest friend, an ambition that would, years later, bloom into a devastating betrayal. My best friend, my family, was about to become the architect of my financial and emotional ruin. Chapter 2: The Subtle Erosion. Nashville, Tennessee, 2018 to 2023. The years that followed were a period of growth and, in retrospect, subtle, almost imperceptible erosion. The Daily Crumb continued to thrive. We opened a second, smaller location in Franklin, Tennessee, a charming town just south of Nashville, capitalizing on its growing suburban market. Emily was instrumental in this expansion, managing all the digital aspects of the new launch, setting up the online ordering system, geo-targeting ads, establishing the loyalty program. Her corporate career had also continued its ascent, culminating in a senior marketing executive position. Despite her demanding job, she remained fiercely dedicated to the Daily Crumb. She never officially joined as a partner, stating she wanted to help me build my empire without mixing friendship and formal business too much, which I respected. Her help, though, intensified. She handled all our online customer reviews, email marketing campaigns, and even managed our crucial supplier relationships, especially for our specialized flours, which she claimed she could get at better prices through her industry connections. "Sarah, I'm just streamlining things," she'd say, her voice always calm and reassuring. "Let me take the digital and administrative load off your shoulders. You focus on what you do best, baking." And I did. I immersed myself in the comforting rhythm of the bakery, perfecting new recipes, training staff, connecting with customers. I trusted Emily implicitly. She was my best friend, after all. Her access to all our digital accounts, social media, website backend, online payment systems, customer databases, supplier contacts, seemed logical. She built it all. She managed it all. Looking back, the signs were there, subtle whispers I dismissed as paranoia or overwork. A few times, customers mentioned seeing ads for the Daily Crumb on platforms I didn't recognize, or promotions that were slightly different from what I had approved. When I'd ask Emily, she'd brush it off. "Oh, that's just a test campaign I'm running." Or, "It's a new algorithm thing, don't worry about it." Her explanations were always plausible, always calm. Then there were the financial aspects. Our profits were healthy, but they didn't quite match the rapid growth we were experiencing. When I mentioned it to Emily, she'd attribute it to rising ingredient costs, increased marketing spend, or the investment in the new Franklin location. She provided detailed spreadsheets, seemingly comprehensive, that I, being more of a baker than a bookkeeper, didn't scrutinize as closely as I should have. She even encouraged me to rely more on her for financial summaries, suggesting that I focus on operations. "Leave the numbers to me, Sarah," she'd say. "You have enough on your plate." I occasionally tried to access our online accounts to check in on things, but found myself locked out or the passwords changed. When I'd ask Emily, she'd apologize profusely. "Oh, I must have changed it for security or during an update. Let me send you the new ones." But the new ones often seemed to have a glitch, or I'd forget them, and eventually, I just stopped trying. It was easier to let Emily handle it. She was so capable, so efficient. In 2022, I started dating Mark, a kind, steady architect I met through a mutual friend. He was wonderful, supportive, and for the first time since Lily's death, I started to imagine a future beyond just the bakery. Marriage, perhaps children. I shared my dreams with Emily, who seemed genuinely happy for me. "That's wonderful, Sarah. You deserve all the happiness," she'd say, her smile warm. Yet, I noticed a subtle shift. She started to hint more strongly about her desire to join the Daily Crumb officially, not just as a marketing consultant, but as a full partner, suggesting a 50-50 split. "Think of it, Sarah. With my corporate experience, we could really scale this, franchise it, take it national." The idea was tempting. Her business acumen was undeniable, but something held me back. "I've built this from scratch, Em," I'd say gently. "It's my baby. I'm not sure I want to dilute ownership." She'd nod, seemingly understanding, but her persistence grew, wrapped in subtle pressure, cloaked in promises of grand expansion. "Just think about it. It makes sense, financially and strategically." The subtle erosion continued, quietly, methodically. She gained more control over the supply chain, the online sales channels, the customer relationships. My passion remained in the baking, in the tangible creation. I was on the shop floor, covered in flour. She was behind the screens, behind the spreadsheets, orchestrating an intricate web of digital control. The 20-year friendship, built on trust and shared dreams, was silently being hollowed out, its foundations meticulously undermined, preparing for a takeover I couldn't even fathom. The seeds of my dream, planted with so much love, were being quietly, systematically harvested by the very person I trusted most. The stage was being set for a betrayal of monumental proportions. Chapter 3. The Discovery. Nashville, Tennessee, 2024. The first tremor of alarm came, not from a grand revelation, but from a mundane observation. Mark and I were having dinner with his sister, Chloe, who worked in e-commerce marketing. I was excitedly telling her about the Daily Crumb's latest numbers, the strong online sales that Emily managed. "That's fantastic, Sarah," Chloe said, nodding. "But have you ever checked your customer data platform directly? Like the raw data? Just to see conversion rates, customer lifetime value, attribution models? With your volume, it's critical to analyze that yourself, not just rely on summaries." A cold knot formed in my stomach. "Emily handles all of that," I said, a slight tremor in my voice. "She sends me summaries, but I don't really dive into the raw data. She set up the whole system." Chloe frowned. You really should have direct, unfettered access to all your primary data sources, Sarah. Your website analytics, your customer databases, your payment gateway reports. Those are the lifeblood of your business, especially in the digital age. Who owns the accounts for those? Who has the master passwords? Her words, innocent as they were, sent a shiver down my spine. The truth was, Emily did. Emily had set up everything, always claiming it was too complex for me. or that she'd managed the technical side to let me focus on baking. She'd given me passwords over the years, but they always seemed to change, or I'd misplace them, and she was always quick to provide the summary reports I needed. I had outsourced the entire digital infrastructure of my business to my best friend, implicitly trusting her. That night, sleep eluded me. Chloe's words echoed in my mind. The nagging feeling that something wasn't quite right, those subtle whispers I had dismissed, now grew into a roaring alarm. I tried to log into our main e-commerce platform, the one that handled all our online orders and customer data. Password rejected. I tried our social media accounts. Password rejected. The corporate email account for the Daily Crumb. Password rejected. Frantic, I texted Emily. "Hey Em, can you send me the master passwords for everything again? I need to take a look at some raw data." Chloe got me thinking. Her reply came almost immediately. "Oh sure, Sarah. Just doing some updates now. I'll send them over later tonight. Things are a bit messy while I'm optimizing." Optimizing. The word tasted bitter on my tongue. It felt like a stall tactic. I waited. No passwords came. I texted again. Called. No response. This was highly unusual. Emily always responded. A cold dread settled deep in my bones. I remembered the vague ads, the inconsistent profit margins, the subtle pressure to make her a 50-50 partner. A sickening realization began to dawn. The next morning, I arrived at the Daily Crumb before dawn, the familiar aroma of rising dough doing little to soothe my frantic heart. I needed a professional, not a friend, a forensic expert. I contacted a cybersecurity consultant Mark had recommended for his architectural firm, a no-nonsense woman named Brenda Chen, based in Atlanta, Georgia, known for her discretion and expertise in digital forensics. I explained the situation, my voice trembling. Brenda listened patiently. "It sounds like a classic case of digital infrastructure control, Sarah," she said calmly. "It's unfortunately common for trusted partners to slowly gain complete access and leverage. We need to do a full audit of every digital asset associated with the Daily Crumb, website domains, hosting, payment gateways, social media accounts, email marketing lists, customer databases, supplier accounts, everything." The audit began. It was a painstaking, horrifying process. Brenda's team worked tirelessly, slowly peeling back layers of Emily's digital architecture. What they found shattered my world into a million pieces. Every single digital asset of the Daily Crumb, from the website domain to the customer email list, the social media accounts, the online payment gateway, even the vital supplier accounts, had been quietly, systematically transferred into Emily Carter's personal name or into shell corporations she had secretly established. She had subtly altered contract details, shifted ownership, and funneled profits through obscure accounts. She controlled everything. My business, the Daily Crumb, was no longer legally mine in the digital realm. It was hers. The most damning evidence: Emily had created an almost identical e-commerce site, the Artisan Crumb, with a slightly different logo, hosted on a different server, mirroring our entire product catalog and customer database. She had been slowly, imperceptibly redirecting customer traffic, diverting online orders and payments to her own site, effectively cannibalizing my business from the inside. She controlled the original Daily Crumb accounts, just enough to keep me from noticing, providing me with doctored reports, while silently building her own duplicate empire, using my recipes, my brand, my customer base. And the reason for the sudden password lockout? She was preparing for the final phase of her takeover. She was about to cut me off completely, to shift all traffic, all customers, all suppliers to the Artisan Crumb, leaving me with nothing but the physical bakeries, stripped of their online lifeline, their customer data, their market presence, the 20-year friendship, the shared dreams, the countless hours of support. All of it, a meticulously crafted illusion, a long con designed to steal my life's work. The discovery was not just a financial ruin. It was a profound, soul-crushing betrayal. My best friend, the woman I trusted implicitly, had spent 2 decades subtly, methodically, orchestrating the theft of my entire business, leaving me with nothing but the devastating echo of her calculated deception. The subtle erosion had become a full-blown heist, revealing a predatory ambition I could never have imagined lurking beneath Emily's warm smile. My world had just collapsed. Chapter 4: The Confrontation and the Legal Battlefield. The discovery of Emily's elaborate scheme was a punch to the gut, a betrayal so profound it left me breathless. My vision of Emily, my best friend, shattered into a million pieces, revealing a meticulously planned 20-year heist. The initial shock gave way to a cold, burning rage. I didn't confront her immediately. Brenda Chen, my cybersecurity expert, advised caution. "You need to build an unassailable case, Sarah," she warned. "She's been planning this for a long time. She's smart. We need irrefutable evidence for every single piece of her digital takeover." For weeks, Brenda's team continued to meticulously document every fraudulent transfer of domain ownership, every redirection of web traffic, every doctored financial report, every secret shell corporation Emily had established. It was a mountain of evidence, digital breadcrumbs leading directly to her calculated deception. We even found evidence of her subtly poisoning my relationships with key suppliers, making me seem unreliable or difficult, while she positioned herself as the preferred contact. Armed with this damning dossier, I finally arranged a meeting with Emily. Not at the bakery, not at a cafe, at my lawyer's office in Nashville, Tennessee. I chose a respected corporate attorney, Martha Green, known for her sharp mind and no-nonsense approach to business litigation. Emily walked in, her usual composed self, a slight smile on her face, completely unaware of the trap she was walking into. "Sarah, what's this all about? Everything okay?" she asked, her voice laced with feigned concern. I looked at her, the woman I had shared dreams with, cried with, trusted with my entire life's work. My voice was steady, despite the tremor in my hands. "Emily, this meeting is about the Daily Crumb, and about the Artisan Crumb." Her face instantly paled, the composure cracked. "I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered, but her eyes betrayed her, darting nervously between me and Martha. Martha Green then took over, laying out the evidence, calmly and methodically, detail by damning detail. She presented the documents showing the transfer of domain ownership, the screenshots of the Artisan Crumb website, the forensic reports detailing the traffic diversion, the records of the shell corporations, the doctored financial summaries. She listed the value of the stolen assets, the brand reputation, the customer database, the online sales channels, the supplier relationships, everything Emily had meticulously siphoned away. Emily sat motionless, her face draining of color, her eyes wide with a mix of shock and dawning horror. The mask had completely fallen. The polished corporate executive was gone, replaced by a desperate, trapped woman. "Emily," Martha concluded, her voice cold and firm, "this isn't just a business dispute. This is fraud. This is theft. This is a felony. We have overwhelming evidence. My client, Sarah Jenkins, is prepared to press criminal charges and pursue full civil damages, including punitive damages, for 20 years of calculated deception and the destruction of her business." Emily finally found her voice, a strangled whisper. "Sarah, I can explain. Please, I can make this right." She turned to me, her eyes pleading, tears welling. "It wasn't. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to help you scale, to grow." "You wanted to steal, Emily," I stated, my voice devoid of emotion, though my heart was breaking. "You didn't want to help. You wanted to take. You used our friendship, our shared dreams, as a cover for a meticulously planned heist. 20 years, Emily. 20 years of friendship. A complete lie." She began to sob, silent, desperate tears. I was envious, Sarah. You had the passion, the talent. I had the business mind, but not the dream. I built your dream, and I realized I wanted it for myself. I saw how big it could be, and I got carried away. Her confession, though pathetic, offered no comfort. It merely confirmed the chilling calculation of her betrayal. The legal battle that ensued was brutal. Emily initially tried to deny, to deflect, to claim she was simply an independent contractor who had developed her own parallel business. But the evidence was too strong, too overwhelming. Her own digital footprint, meticulously preserved by Brenda Chen's team, was her undoing. The lawsuit went to mediation, then to court. It was a draining, emotionally exhausting process. Every detail of our 20-year friendship was dissected, laid bare, revealed as part of a grand deception. The local Nashville media picked up the story. Best friend accused of bakery heist. Digital betrayal shakes Nashville business. It was humiliating, painful, and profoundly public. Emily faced not only civil charges, but also potential criminal prosecution. Her corporate career was in ruins, her reputation shattered. The confrontation had stripped away the last vestiges of our friendship, replacing it with the cold, hard reality of a legal battlefield. The woman I had once loved like a sister was now my adversary, a perpetrator of a heinous crime. The 20-year heist had been exposed, but the scars it left on my heart and on my once unshakable trust were far deeper than any legal victory could ever heal. The battle was long and arduous, but the truth, finally, was out. And the path to reclaiming what was mine, both professionally and emotionally, stretched out, long and uncertain. Chapter 5: Rebuilding from the Ashes. The legal battle against Emily was long and agonizing, a public dissection of a 20-year friendship that ended in devastating betrayal. The media in Nashville, Tennessee, followed every development, branding it the Daily Crumb heist. It was humiliating, exhausting, but I pushed through, fueled by a fierce determination to reclaim my business and my dignity. After nearly a year of arduous litigation, the verdict came. Emily was found guilty on multiple counts of fraud, digital theft, and misappropriation of assets. The court ordered her to return all stolen digital assets, including the domain name, customer databases, and social media accounts, to the Daily Crumb. She was also ordered to pay substantial financial damages, including restitution for lost profits and punitive damages, effectively bankrupting her. The possibility of criminal charges still loomed, a sword hanging over her head. The immediate aftermath was a whirlwind of practicalities. Brenda Chen's team worked tirelessly to undo Emily's digital sabotage, resecuring our accounts, redirecting traffic back to the Daily Crumb website, and painstakingly sifting through years of manipulated data to get a true picture of our financials. It was like painstakingly reassembling a shattered mosaic. Physically, the Daily Crumb bakeries in Nashville and Franklin were still mine, but the digital infrastructure, the lifeblood of a modern business, had been almost entirely severed. Our online reputation had taken a hit due to the sudden disappearance and reappearance of our online presence. Rebuilding trust with customers who had been unknowingly redirected to the Artisan crumb was a monumental task. I had to be on the shop floor more than ever, connecting with customers, explaining what had happened, reiterating that the Daily Crumb was back, stronger than ever. The outpouring of support from the Nashville community was overwhelming. Loyal customers, horrified by the news, rallied around us, their solidarity a powerful balm to my wounded spirit. Many shared stories of how they had noticed the new Artisan Crumb website and found it off, instinctively returning to our physical locations. Financially, the damages awarded were significant, but recovering them would be a long process, complicated by Emily's declared bankruptcy. But the symbolic victory was immense. My business was legally mine again. Emotionally, the scars ran deep. The pain of Emily's betrayal was profound, a wound that might never fully heal. The trust I had once so freely given was shattered. I found myself guarded, wary, constantly questioning motives, even of those closest to me. Mark was a rock through it all, his unwavering support a constant source of strength. He helped me rebuild, not just the business, but my faith in human connection. I hired a new marketing director, Sarah Jenkins, a brilliant young woman with impeccable ethics and a transparent approach. We worked side by side, meticulously rebuilding our online presence, launching new marketing campaigns that emphasized our authenticity and our commitment to our community. We diversified our digital channels, ensuring no single point of failure. I also invested heavily in robust cybersecurity measures and financial oversight, things I had naively left to Emily. I became intimately familiar with every aspect of my business, from the fermentation of sourdough to the intricacies of SEO. It was a steep learning curve, but it was empowering. The Daily Crumb slowly, painstakingly began to flourish again. Our reputation for quality and integrity, coupled with the strong community support, helped us weather the storm. The news coverage, initially painful, ultimately amplified our story of resilience, turning us into a symbol of integrity in the face of betrayal. Years passed. The memory of the 20-year heist faded from the daily headlines, but remained a part of the Daily Crumb story, a cautionary tale, and a testament to our survival. Emily Carter disappeared from public life, her professional and personal reputation irrevocably destroyed. I never saw or heard from her again. My relationship with Mark deepened, strengthened by the crucible of adversity. We eventually married in a small, intimate ceremony, surrounded by true friends and family. The Daily Crumb continued to thrive, a testament to my original dream, nurtured by hard work, integrity, and the lessons learned from a devastating betrayal. Looking back, the 20-year friendship with Emily had been a long con, a masterclass in calculated deception. But it had also, inadvertently, forged in me a resilience I never knew I possessed. It taught me the importance of vigilance, of trusting my instincts, and of truly owning every aspect of my dreams. The ashes of betrayal had become the fertile ground for rebuilding, not just a business, but a stronger, wiser, and more discerning version of myself. The theft had been devastating, but the reclaiming of my business and my spirit was a victory far sweeter than any profit. The dream had been stolen, but ultimately it was triumphantly rebuilt, stronger and more authentic than ever before.